Hi there, Jenny here with my completed 2023 Week in the Life album. It's always so very exciting to have an album like this finished. It's a big, very big project, but it's so worth it. I did struggle a bit this week with the week being what it is. We just returned from a big adventure, so I was still adjusting to our lives going back to normal, and both kids are not in the house anymore. So sometimes it felt a bit empty maybe. But that's exactly always my reason why, to find joy wherever we are, and I for sure did. I let the week be what it is, and I'm so happy with the stories that ended up in my album. As always, I used the album and main kit from Ellie Edwards and the digital Week in the Life collection. I started my album with this vellum piece, with on top the chipboard numbers and a heart from my stash. Next is a circle page inspired by the plastic circles from the kit. I recreated one and filled the pie pieces with the same color combo as one of the plastic circles, and I used the digital vellum piece to give it a pattern. On top I put the chipboard piece with the dates, and I included 2 photos from our recent trip to Japan. The kids aren't in the house anymore, but they are of course a big part of our week. For the back side I created a layer template and filled the pie pieces with these crazy pictures of the 6 of us. We made those while waiting in line in an amusement park in Japan, but definitely is a thing in Japan, waiting in line for almost everything. We were a bit bored and sent each other these funny faces. I used those for my reason why page, and I intended to add a bit of journaling, but I liked it better simple like this. And having a place for these kinds of memories and photos is why I make albums like this. I start every day with a vellum piece. I used one of the digital journal cards. This one was 10 by 8 inches and used the word art part to fill a 6 by 8 outside of the page protector size page. I used my silhouette and foil quill to gold foil the stars on top and added one of the chipboard pieces from the main kit. This one says work life and Monday is a work day, but for the rest of the days I just added them randomly. I also stamped the date in the same place every day. I did follow the same design formula for each day. So first a vellum piece and then a big photo. This one is of me walking to the car after work. Michel is starting a new job next week and will not be able to pick me up from work anymore, as he did for the past years. I'm always calling him when I'm stepping out of the building, and I think it's fun to have that documented. I embellished all big photos the same. I printed the digital plastic circles on vellum and used half of them together with the chipboard tags from the main kit. I stamped the day on top using one of the AE Alpha stamp sets. On the back side of the big photo I added the digital craft paper pages. I printed those on white cardstock and recolored the lines to the color I chose for the day. On top I used one of the plastic circles printed on vellum and the layered ING word stickers. I thought they were a bit too bulky, so I removed one of the layers of foam tape. I decided to use one of the words for each day, but collect photos during the week. So these photos are not from Monday alone, but things we watched during the week. In the middle I made a list of the different things we watched, like the news and weather forecast, the Formula 1 race, series on Netflix and Disney, and the movie we watched in the movie theater. For my journaling I created another circle page with the color combos from the plastic circles. I also used the digital transparencies of the days to give the pie pieces a pattern to make it a bit more interesting. On top I put the craft pocket from the main kit. I didn't use the card that was inside, but made my own little notebook. Same as last year, but a bit smaller. The notebook has a vellum cover on which I printed the day of the week. I used the digital art from the Week in the Life journal for this. Normally during the documenting week I have these daily sheets on my desk so I can write some things down during the week. I didn't do that this year and really regretted it because I already forgot a lot. But going through the photos I could write some things down, so I'm just happy with the things I did get in there. I also included some screenshots using these phone outlines from a layered template from a few years back. Lisa made a new layer template this year with a phone outline on it that is really awesome, so you could use those to do something similar. I also have a page with what I would like to remember to have a place for some additional journaling. On the back I used the same layer template but filled the pie pieces with photos. Because I do everything in batches, I already stuck both pieces back to back when I decided to put one of the plastic circles on top. I would rather have used a brad to put the circle on, but now I have used a circle I punched out of double-sided tape. You can see it on some of the pieces, but I think it's fine. For my next page I was inspired by Linda Jordan's album from 2022. She included a space in her house for each day, and because this is the first weekend alive in this house, I decided to do the same. For this first day I used a photo of our apartment building and used one of Lisa's layer templates to tell a bit about the different parts of the building, like the entrance, the elevator and the parking garage. I filled the big photo spot with the color I chose for the day, included my journaling and printed it on vellum. I used a bigger piece of vellum so I was able to fold over a piece to attach it on the back side of the photo. I printed the photos on photo paper and added those on top. Each day I took a photo from my balcony to include what the weather was like. Some weeks are all like this here in the Netherlands, but we were lucky with some pretty good days in this Week in the Life week. I didn't embellish it because the page next to it is quite busy. For the last page of my day I used one of the 2x2 page protectors. I added a 4x4 photo by just adding it to the outside of the page, using double-sided tape. My plan was to add some of the pieces I collected during the week, but I didn't collect that much, so I also included some extra photos. I used the digital die-cut number pages to make these 2x2 see-through squares using my silhouette machine, and I used the vellum tags from the main kit, stamped the letter of the day on top and attached it using my sewing machine. On the back more photos and more pieces I collected. I repeat these pages each day. So first a vellum divider page with the chipboard piece and date. Then a big photo of us together in the shower. We do that a lot, so I love to have that in the album. On top the half circle with the chipboard tag. On the back 8 things we were eating this week. As you can see, it was probably the most unhealthy week ever, but I think it looks fun seeing all those snacks together. We did eat normal some of the days. Next to it my circle page with my journaling and screenshots. My plan was to screenshot the weather forecast each day, but I forgot in the weekend. I did make sure I included a screenshot of one of the reels or stories from my daughter each day. On the back my layer template with some photos and a plastic circle. The space I chose for this day was the kitchen. Even though it's in our living room, I decided to include it as a separate space. On the pie chart, a few stories of things in the kitchen, like our candy shelf, our golden cutlery and the coffee machine that is never used. A photo of the weather, pretty good I would say. And the 2x2 page, with some extra photos, some collected pieces and this meme Michel sent to his colleagues because they work with cameras. The divider page for Wednesday. A big photo of my daughter-in-law bringing in the food we ordered. My son and daughter-in-law are living in the same apartment building, only a few floors away. They have exactly the same apartment but then mirrored. I really like to include how they decorated their house. On top the half circle and the tag. On the back a few things I was learning this week. A big lesson was letting the week be what it is. Ellie posted this on Instagram on Monday I think. I'm also learning new tricks in Photoshop every day, and I really would like to learn how to paint on my iPad, so I included it even though I can't really find the time to do it these days. I'm also learning a lot from my kids. Levi, who is telling us all about the recent developments on AI and ChatGPT, and Mila and Magnus, who are showing us that there is so much more possible than you think. My journaling for Wednesday in the notebook with some screenshots. One is of the tickets for the Avatar movie we ordered online. On the back, my layer template with some photos. I tried the put your phone in the washing machine thing and I really liked the perspective, but I couldn't for the life of me look normal. Or maybe I just look like that when I'm filling the machine. Also added the plastic circle. The space for this day was the living room. I chose to take a picture of the side where you can almost not see the kitchen to really have it as a separate space. I included a few stories, like we only use the table if there's someone joining for dinner, otherwise we just eat in front of the TV. Our cabinet full of treasures that will have its own page in this album, and our only real plant in the house that we desperately trying to keep alive but isn't doing that good at the moment. On the back, another greyish normal Dutch day. And then my 2x2s page with some additional photos and bits of ephemera. Thursday starts again with a vellum divider page with a chipboard piece and a date. Thursday definitely wasn't a normal day, it was King's Day. In my opinion, one of the best days to be in the Netherlands, with a lot of fun things going on everywhere. We always go to the flea market in Amsterdam. We go very early to beat the crowds. It was a cold start of the day, but the sun was shining brightly and it was a very good day to walk and see all those people in orange and the stuff they were selling. We were zigzagging through the crowd and he is always guiding me through. I really love this photo, especially because you can see my shadow on his back with my King's Day headband. On top the circle and the tag. On the back the things I was loving this week. He's showing me he loves me, being picked up from work, my son living so close by, the views, doing all things together, the stories on Instagram from Mila and Magnus so we can see what they are doing, everything Mario and FaceTiming with Mila and Magnus. My journaling and screenshots. One of the weather in the early morning, only 2 degrees, and one of the kind words in a different language. On the back more photos. Some girls were making and selling Polaroid photos, and I of course had to let them take pictures of us. We also ran into Levi and Naru in the middle of Amsterdam, what was kind of special considering it was crazy busy. The space for this day was our bedroom, that is also our office and my scrapbook space. Telling a bit about how that is working out, we really use every inch wisely. On the back that beautiful day, but you can see how cold it is with the white rooftops. And then my 2x2s page, with only photos because I took so much and wanted to use as many as possible. All the festivities, the Dutch flags, Haru eating tompoesen for the first time, the church in which Michel installed a traffic camera for his work that we waved at. On to the Friday, starting with a vellum page. The Friday was a really quiet day. I didn't take a lot of photos, so I used this one of us in front of the TV watching the quali for the Formula 1 race on Sunday. On top the tag with the day. On the back some things I was listening to this week, like piano music when I need to focus, Haru telling about her job hunt that isn't easy at all, the planes that fly over, the quiet at night, Michel talking and laughing with his friends while gaming, and always watching Instagram stories with the sound on. My Friday journaling, a lot less than the other days, and a screenshot of FaceTiming with Mila and Magnus. On the back my layer template with photos. The spot where our favorite chicken satay stall normally is, but that was empty today, and the food we chose instead. And a plastic circle on top. The space for today was our in-house storage unit. We really used every inch there is, telling a bit more about all the things that are in there. Storage, washing machine, dryer, pantry, suitcases, Michel's hobby supplies and much more. On the back another real Dutch grey and wet day. I didn't have enough photos or ephemera to fill all the pockets of the 2x2s page, so I cut one strip off and used the photos I did have. Saturday starting with a vellum divider. A photo of our first time on a terrace here in the Netherlands this year, and on top the half circle and tag. On the back the things we are making right now, like my lesson for the Story Kid classroom, plans for Weekend Alive, plans for our next adventure, dinner, messes and always new memories. My Saturday journaling and screenshots. I forgot to screenshot the weather, but there are always enough things to screenshot, like the conversation between Mila and Magnus in the comments under their own posts on Instagram and WhatsApp conversations. On the back, more photos of cleaning, cooking, working and relaxing. The space for the day was the balcony. I really should have done this space for Sunday because on that day we bought all the fake plants and lights and made it more cozy and fun. But it's the same week, so who cares? Telling about our view and how we can see the sunrise on the left, have sun all day and see the sunset on the right. Also about how I can look at the view and have no problem at all, but being scared to death when looking straight down from the 17th floor. Every time I look at this photo, my belly goes crazy. On the back, a very beautiful blue sky. And then my 2x2 page with some extra photos and ephemera. Last day already, starting with the vellum divider, the chipboard piece and the date. A big photo of my son and daughter-in-law coming over for dinner on their slippers and in very homely clothes. On top, the tag with the day. On the back, what I was reading this week, like emails, messages, comments, Ellie's blog, and I finished one book and started another. My journaling for Sunday. I really love these little notebooks. I screenshotted one of my own stories on Instagram. On the back, more photos of buying all the plants. Michel showing how a manta ray looks like, FaceTiming with Mila, and Levi and Haru waiting for the elevator going back down to their apartment. The space for this day isn't a room, but it's our cabinet full of treasures. We do not have a lot of room for stuff in this apartment, but this is the stuff that may not be useful in any way, but brings us so much joy. On the back, another beautiful day. And the last 2x2 page with another meme, the price tags of the stuff we bought for our balcony, and more photos like this one of Haru, also showing us how a manta ray looks. I'm really happy with the album as it is. During the week I was having a lot of feelings like the photos I take aren't special enough, I'm not doing enough, but in the end, when all the photos are together, they are such a good representation of our right now, and all together they are special. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. I would like to make more of these videos, but I'm still a bit scared to do so. Please let me know if you have any questions and don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you will be notified if and when I make another video. Thank you so much and have a great day.